All right, we are live. Awesome. Okay. Happy Thursday, everybody. Um, Amy and I have been having a little chuckle here before we popped on live. So Amy is assisting in the background. Well, actually, Amy's running the show. So if you have questions, be sure to post them and we will get them answered. If it's not here in the live broadcast, then I'll come back through and answer comments. So welcome, welcome. My name is Nadine Knecht. I am a PFAFF Ambassador. You also may know me as Embroidery Mom, where the MOM stands for Mastering Our Machines. So we are loaded with techniques and projects today. As you might have assumed, based on the fact that it is Halloween, it's fall, autumn. We've got some Thanksgiving celebrations, and just in general, the leaves are changing. So we are going to be doing some fun things today with leaves. We also hinted that we had a free gift for everybody that you'll be able to download with a code that we're going to give you a little bit later on in the broadcast. So I'm thrilled to have you here, and I want to do a little shout out to my Embroidery Mom members over on my Embroidery Mom Facebook group. I really appreciate all of your responses and RSVPs and really just showing up and supporting me. It means a lot. I appreciate you very much. So we today are going to be creating some really fun things. And when I say we're creating, we're going to be doing this together, because what I'm going to be showing you is a technique that is fairly new to the embroidery industry, and a lot of you have not yet tapped into it, but I want to show you how simple and easy it is. And I'm going to be doing some further support after this broadcast in a little class that I'm going to talk to you about as well. But we're going to be doing some things in photo stitch, and you are going to see how, quite simply, it is one of the easiest techniques, new techniques that you will ever try out. It's fabulous. And I'm going to show you all the different projects that we've done with it, and all the different things you can do with it, with whether it's quilting, crafting, doing some things on garments. It's way, way, way cool. And you're all going to be able to do it. If you have an embroidery machine, doesn't matter if you're a 4x4 or a 5x7 or a 10x14. You are all going to be able to do this technique that I'm going to be teaching you. So it's going to be super, super cool. All right. So we are waiting for people to join. And again, if you have questions, please put them in the feed. And if I don't see them here as Amy is pointing them out, then I will be sure to come back through. Okay. So let's get started. I'm kind of decorated for the mood in the background. We're going to be doing some mixed media things today. We're going to be doing some things on the screen, and then we're going to be creating some things from scratch that you're going to be able to do from home. So we're going to begin with our trunk show. And of course, it is fall. I'm in upstate New York. So the best thing about this area is the change of seasons. So we are always decorating. You know, in our household, it's October, right? It's August, but we're right on the brink of October and ready to decorate. So that's what we're going to be doing. So I'm going to start out with a very simple project. And again, this is my fall trunk show, just to get you inspired and to give you some ideas to create at home on your own machine. So one of the first things I want to show you is this real simple hack. This is a very inexpensive placemat. Okay, here we go. This is a placemat. And I probably found this, I don't know, one of the local Dollar Generals or something. So it was not a lot. And it's just a very simple placemat that you would use around this time. And on the back of it, I've added this fabric and all these different miscellaneous buttons. And this is a pillow wrap. So I've done my buttonholes in my hoop, and quite simple. I just do that in my Shape Creator, but I just wanted to start out with showing you how fast and easy this is. I mean, you could make a whole pillow out of it if you wanted to, but I like making the wraps and then adding the fabric to the back, putting the buttonholes right in the hoop. Easy, fast way for you to decorate using a placemat. Okay. So now I'm going to just be throwing things on the floor here. So now I want to talk about using your stitches or small designs to embellish fabric to use in larger projects. And by that, I'm going to show you this table runner. And the back of this, I taught this in one of my workshops. And this is a long table runner. And the back is just this sort of modeled, hand-dyed looking fabric. And all of these are embroidery designs. And I just filled my hoop with them and then copied and pasted them and did an endless embroidery. And the fun part is, and I'll show you this on the machine later on, but the fun part is using, I've got a little ruffle here. This is just a piece of, actually, this is an old curtain, a sheer curtain that I just doubled. Okay, for the bottom. And then this is the little boots that are in the dingbat menu of the Applique Creator. We made these little legs here. So this is a table runner. So that we've got these little legs on both ends, but it's really simple and easy. So we also took the same idea. And again, I created a lot of this fabric because it was quick and easy. You put the black thread in, you hit mono, and your fabric is just, is created. And it actually looks like it's really just the fabric, but these are all stitches. And it stitches fast because there's not a lot of thread count to them. So I took the same idea and I created this. And if you've been following Mom for a while, you've seen this before. This hangs up, and this is, you would just vinyl, regular old vinyl. It doesn't need to be chalkboard fabric necessarily. And then this you would write here with some chalk, and it's kind of your countdown to Halloween. One thing I noticed in the store is Halloween and fall is becoming just as big of a decorating deal as the Christmas season. I mean, it is just loaded with all sorts of pumpkins and placemats and runners, and it's become as big a decorating season as December, really. So this was originally a Christmas countdown, and I thought, well, why can't we make it Halloween? So here again are our little boots. We just brought in some stitches from the machine to embellish them. These are just tubes of fabric, but it's a really fun idea for a countdown to Halloween. Okay. So the other thing is, oftentimes we have wonderful collections of designs, and they are very specific to perhaps just general all year, or they're specific to Christmas. But I like to take those types of projects or those types of design collections and just swap out the thread colors. So just by swapping out the thread colors, you can take and make something very seasonal. So this again is just on a home decor vinyl, and it's going to be a pillow at some point. But I just wanted to stitch this out just to show you that you could take something as simple as your lettering and just do it in seasonal colors, and now it becomes something for fall. Okay, this is just a really quick combination of different fonts put together. And while we're over here, I just want to talk about, we did a little thing on Cork. This is a placemat. Again, the same boots, just different embellishments. We've got some tubes of fabric here, a real fast Cork project, and then we'll someday add the backing and the binding, right? And again, it's kind of a fun idea just to, resize your appliques. This is a little coaster. This says, I'll get you, my pretty. If you're a Wizard of Oz fan, you'll know what that means. But again, simple. And I can take those appliques and resize them and make them whatever size I want. And you'll see in a minute what we did here. Another countdown. And I originally created this in Christmas. This was a holiday magic Christmas project. And I thought, well, why can't we do the same thing by just doing things in oranges and greens and purples? And here is another countdown. This is one of those chalk markers, which I love. Okay, I have a question. Do you use a different type of needle when embroidering? I use Microtex needles. You know, Microtex is just a great tip on that needle. I never have any skip stitches. And again, this is vinyl too, because I want to be able to write on this and erase this. So definitely Microtex 12 or 14, 80 or 90 is my go-to. And to be honest, I probably embroider with that needle the most always anyway, but definitely Microtex on the vinyl. So here again, this was a Christmas project. This was a class I taught. We've got a lot of technique in here. But I thought, why can't we just take it out of the reds and greens and make it our oranges and purples? And we've got some skulls and spiders. But again, that's the same boot you've been seeing in the previous project. So kind of fun. Just fill it up with, these are some pine branches and, you know, some built-in designs. These are all built-in designs. So you can use any flowers, make them orange and purple and, you know, some spiders if you have them. But again, this is just a way of taking something that was a traditional embroidery design and making it very fall. And again, because, and I really do love October and fall. So this was a design that is in, it's a Sheer Delights design collection. It's just a regular old outline of a dress form, but I enlarged it. Okay. So, and this is, I hang this in my sewing room, and this is just an outline. It's raw edge applique. You could do it as satin stitch applique for sure, but I just blew up the body. I resized it right on the screen of my machine and made it as large as my hoop. So this is one design, and then I just embellished it with all sorts of different flowers. I will say that this background fabric already had the spider web printed on it, but you certainly could add it. And again, some different, some spider webs and spiders and so on, just to get it a little bit more of a Halloween feel. But this again is what I mean by taking some of your basic designs and just, you know, changing the colors and changing the mood, so to speak. So this is my dress form. And this did fit in my second hooping. So it was easy. This was my first hooping, and this was my second hooping. And this was originally pretty small. So again, resize it. If your resize option will recalibrate on your machine, recalibrate the stitch count, you can put it right into your machine and make this way larger. Okay. This is, again, you know, if you follow me and you're watching some of the stuff that I do here in the Facebook Lives for PFAFF, I absolutely love Applique Creator. And this is an applique. Was probably started out this big when I started designing. And then I just enlarged it and put it on a piece of burlap. And this, again, it's applique. And I just used my built-in lettering and I put it on a stick. And this hangs for my trick-or-treaters. So again, quick and easy. Love that applique, love all the different things you can do with it when you start manipulating it and resizing it and combining it. So my next project, I took a triangle, made it a little off shape, and then I took a circle and made it an oval. And I made this project. Now this normally goes on a wreath. It is a dimensional. Okay, so here is my little wonky triangle. And here is my oval. We added some dimensional flowers over here, a mirror imaged here, dimensional flowers, and then a piece of purple lace, which I stitched this right on my machine on water soluble stabilizer for the embellishment. And the little glitz that you see in the back, I'm going to tell you all about that when we get to our mixed media session here of our live, but this is a really fun accent to add for Halloween. So I made this dimensional to go on a wreath. And then I also took the same files and I resized them. And this goes on a little flag holder that goes in a potted plant on my front porch. So again, same thing, but look at that glitter. Isn't that fun? We're going to talk about this. You are going to want this glitter for your snowmen. You're going to want it for your Christmas and holiday stitching as well. But it's really fun for Halloween too. So this again, same file I just showed you. These are also built into your Applique Creator, easy in whatever size you want. This was a design that I just added to right over top of the bottom edge of the triangle applique. So it's kind of fun to go in and play with the control points because you can just take them and make them a little wonky. So, you know, gave that hat a little bit nicer of a shape. But again, I just wanted to show you some quick things that we're doing in applique. Okay. The other thing I did in applique, you know, I know a lot of people set beautiful tables for Thanksgiving, especially the holidays. And this is just a square, and I'll see if I can, I can. This is a holder. There's a cloth napkin in here and your silverware. And again, I'm going to take this out and show you, simple square applique. Easy, easy, easy. These are dimensional. Okay, just stitched them on organza. And this was brought into the machine as a square triangle. Oh my gosh, as a square applique. And then this is just, again, that same flower, but stitched on the corner. And then all it is a little fold. And then you could just tack it or fabric glue it. And then you could just add these, and then your cloth napkin and your silverware. And it's just a really fast place setting. Okay, again, just a square applique. All right. Okay. Any questions? Oh my goodness. I have so much here to share with you. It's just, I'm a little overwhelmed. Okay. So I'll just move this out of the way. You know, a circle applique has so many possibilities. And this again is just a mug mat. And if you can see these stitches here on the top, these are the lace edge stitches. And I love to bring them into the hoop. These are sewing machine stitches. So I could add them on by sewing machine, or I could add them on by bringing them into the embroidery unit and making them part of here and burying them. So this one, yeah. So this one, if I show you up close, is buried underneath the applique stitch. And this one, do I have it going the right way? I do. This one is actually on top of the applique stitch. But when you bring the stitches into Shape Creator, you can take the sewing machine stitches. And this way you don't have to, you know, all of the feeding and the directing of the fabric is out of your hands. It's all automated, and it's in this, you know, it's on the screen of the embroidery edit. It's in your hoop. And then it just stitches beautifully. And you do this on water soluble stabilizer. So this is a built-in design. And I just added these little mini designs to make them eyeballs. They weren't eyeballs before, but just to give you an idea, I'm just combining things. And this is just a standard font. And you got to love the spiders. You know, the spiders are just awesome. We got a couple different ones here. And then of course, this border is all done with built-in mini designs and Shape Creator. So I'm just showing you how easy it is that you can just do things with basic applique shapes. All right. Okay. So now, I've got one more to show you. This was also a workshop, and this is, a pumpkin that we created with an applique. And again, this is an applique, and this was originally probably just a rectangle, and I just made it a little wonky for the stem. And then we added, these are the silk flowers from the craft store that we took apart and pressed them flat, took all the parts and pieces out of them, all the plastic out of them, layered them up. And then we brought in an embroidery design to tack them, and they're, you know, just to give the dimensional effect. And then added, of course, the lettering. And this is a front porch pillow. Okay, so again, simple stuff. And this was an oval, but you can see here we made it a little wonky to make it look like a pumpkin. So basic applique shapes. Okay, we are headed into one of my most favorite techniques. If you love doing things with line drawings, line stitches, this next technique is going to be so exciting and so cool. And what is awesome about it is there is a free app for all of you. It doesn't matter what machine you're working on. It doesn't matter what file format you need. There is a free app that you're going to absolutely, after today, want to download and make this part of your designing, because this is just way cool. All right. So let's start out with talking about the My Sonet. Now, My Sonet is an app that you can download, and there is a free version of it. So all of you can download this and participate in the next multiple projects that I'm going to show you. And that means that when you download it onto your phone or a tablet, I'm going to demonstrate how fast and easy it is to create designs like that. I mean, so fast. So there are multiple ways of, well, let me back up a second. We're talking about using basic clip art, clip art that you draw, clip art that when I say download, you can screenshot it. And I'm going to show you how to do this step by step. And these designs were just from a clip art site, a free clip art site. And I created them with this My Sonet that I'm going to show you. And again, here they are. And we added some mixed media, which I'm going to talk to you about and demonstrate and give you all the specifics for different options for adding color to your line drawing. Now, this sewing machine stitch is built onto my machine. It's just a maxi stitch. It's a big line drawing sewing machine stitch. And here it is, resized. Look at how big that is. And I did this by bringing the stitch up on the screen of my machine. I took a picture of it with my iPhone, and I brought it right into my Sonet, into my photo stitch. And look at this. So this is the original size. And this is the large size of creating it in my Sonet. So I'm going to show you how to do this. All right. So I just wanted to demonstrate how you can take this. So here I took a picture of my sewing machine screen. Okay. For the sunflower, perhaps you could print it off on your printer, or you could just take a screenshot of it, which I'm going to show you how to do. So I'm just going through my samples here. Let's see here. Okay. This is what I'm looking for. So this runner, okay, you see my border fabric. You see all of my stitches in my hexes here, okay, all the way down. I want you to pay attention here to my border, okay. This is my border originally. I created these designs in seconds. When I tell you seconds, I created each one of these in just a few seconds right in my Sonet photo stitch. So I created this overall fabric. It's all just stitched on a white Kona cotton. And I do have it, let's see here. Do I have this stabilized? I do have this stabilized, just to give it a little bit more body. So these, some of these are traced from, I can tell you this little leaf here is from a fabric from Tula Pink. So I just traced the leaf from the fabric and brought it and sent it right over to the machine, and it was done in seconds. So these are just different flowers, whether you get them from fabric or you doodle them yourself, or you just, like I said, take a screenshot of them. All of these are stitches. This is all just black thread, which I did here on the border. And then you recognize this flower. This is the flower that I just showed you, but I just took my little finger and erased the leaf and made just a single flower. This is the maxi stitch from the machine that is now these bigger combined group of flowers. Okay. And again, we've got all different ones here, and they've all been resized because you notice they're a little bigger than what you see in the border fabric here. And then, gave them colors. So we're going to talk about what's the best, easiest way to add colors to these. But yeah, so this is from fabric. Some of these other ones are also just things I pulled off from fabric. Okay, there's more Tula Pink. But it's just, if you think you're not artistic and you can't do this, I 100% guarantee you can do this. This is so, so simple. All right. So I'm going to show you the back of this just to show you. This is the back. And I did this purposely in brighter colors. This was a project that was featured that I demonstrated on Love of Quilting. And so I really wanted the back to show up on the camera. And I even did a, let's see here. Okay, here we go. I even wrote my name. Okay, I didn't write it, but I stitched it, but I brought that right into. So there's my little signature on there. And here's my little binding trim here. If you can see that, there's more of those stitches. That lace edge stitching is all the way around the runner as well. Or I guess the two long sides anyways, which basically is this kind of technique. Just stitched on this. And that creates like a little flange. Okay, all right. So I'm getting you through this first part, and then we're going to go right to the how-tos, the easy how-tos. So here again, I talked to you about the Tula Pink. These were traced off of the fabric. So if you like a design that kind of coordinates with the fabric that you're using in a project, this is perfect. Okay, so I did those in different colors. This one is tone on tone. So I thought that would be a really fun thing to do just for a quilting project. But notice the differential in size, right? Like look at this one here. And then we've kind of taken this one here and we blew it up real big. So you've got a lot of different options too. All right. And when you're making line drawings, you also can take them into different dimensional things. So this is a runner that was made on a wool felt. And, you know, when you're in the store and you're looking for felt, and even if you want to use a craft felt for this, if you buy the felt off of the bolt, I find that it's a little bit heavier duty. You can create this just by stitching on felt and cutting them out. So we're going to be creating these leaves today, and I'm going to be sharing these with you. What level of my Sonet do you need to do photo stitch? The free level. You don't need to start out with the subscription level. It is the free basic level, which is what I'm going to be demonstrating today, because I want you all to see how easy it is and that you can do it at home. So we're going to be using the basic free level of my Sonet. What if my machine is too old to use my Sonet? To be honest, if you are working with the PFAFF Creative Icon and Creative Icon 2, you have the ability to send the design directly to your machine, right? And I'm going to show you that. If you do not have a Wi-Fi enabled machine, and let's say you're working with a machine that just has a basic 4x4 hoop, not a problem. You are going to be creating this and you'll send it to your cloud, so to speak, which is just a big filing cabinet up there. So when you go in and you set up your free account, you're going to be able to send your designs to your My Sonet. And then, of course, however you get them to your machine, whether you would take them out of, so now you're on your laptop, you're going to copy and paste that design, send it to a USB stick, if that's how you get designs on your machine, and then take the USB stick and put it right into your machine. It's easy. And again, I'm going to demonstrate this for you to see how simple this is going to be, and how you are going to be incredibly hooked on this technique. So again, these are the basic line drawings stitched on felt. Do I have the right side? I'm showing you the wrong side. Yeah, the right side. And then I just used my, you can either free motion this a little bit. I went right along here and I just used my bar tacks and I just tacked them all together. I laid them out. You can lay them out on wash away stabilizer. You can lay them out and just use some temporary glue and then go through and stitch them. You can, if you look at this up close, you can see that that was just attached on I show you the wrong side here. It's just attached following the stitching line of the embroidery, and you would just attach them obviously in the sewing machine. So you can make this as long as you want it, but this is a beautiful effect on a wood table, especially, obviously fall and this time of year. So we have, let's see here. I'm going to show you this design collection here. These are leaves. Now, these are from a free clip art site. Like I said, you can doodle them, you can draw them yourself, but you can simply the object is to get them on your camera roll. And I'm going to show you that as well. But today you are going to be leaving. You're going, well, I was going to say, you're going to download these. I'm going to give you a code, and I'm going to be giving you this leaf, this one, and this one. Okay. But I have these other ones stitched over here to show you how easy it is to resize them, how easy it is to say, well, I really love this leaf, but I don't want the stem, because I'm going to be connecting these using my felt. So I want to eliminate the stem. So I'm going to show you how to do that as well. But these designs are the collection of designs that I'm going to be giving you today with a code. You're going to go on and download them with the free code. Okay, but we're going to talk about how to create them and how fast and easy it is. All right, so without further ado, I do have some more embellishment ideas, a lot of embellishment ideas, mixed media ideas, but let's take the camera if we could, Amy. Let's see, let me just address this. Can the free app be used on both an iPad and an iPhone? Yes, my free app I'm going to be showing you is on an iPad, and I also have it on my phone as well. So yes, you'll be able to access that quite easily. Now, if you're on an iPad, the cool thing is if your iPad happens to have a pen capability, that's a very cool feature as well. And I'll show you that. But if you don't have it, you can use your finger right in the app. So easy, easy. All right. So are we good? Can we maybe, I'm just checking out my questions here. And then we're going to talk about, we're going to do some mixed media things too. I've got a lot of ideas and tips for that for you. But if we could, Amy, can we take it over to the perfect? Okay, so I am just going to scooch this out here. Are we looking good? Okay. Down here on the bottom is my Sonet app. And this, again, I'm working with the free version. Okay, so here's my Sonet. And this is how it opens. This is what it looks like. I'm going to head into my embroidery. And these are the options that you get with the free basic plan. So I'm going to go into my photo stitch. Okay, now here it's asking me to take a photo. Now, I could actually, let's just see here. I could take a photo of, let's see, I'm looking for that paper here. I could take a photo of this, or I could take a screenshot of this, or have this on my camera roll, whether I screenshotted it or I downloaded it from a clip art, or I drew it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to go into my photos. I'm going to go into my favorites, and I'm going to select this leaf. Pops right in. I have several different options. This is called a scatter stitch. So for certain photos, this is a really fun technique. But I'm going to head down here, and I'm just going to select line 6 by 6. Boom, there it is. So that is, let's see here. That's this stitched out. See it? Right here. Oh, I can't even show you. Never mind. Don't pop over there, Amy. This is one of the samples I just showed you. So here it is. It is stitches. It's ready to go. So now all I have to do is, if I select the paper airplane, it's going to send it right to my machine. If you're not working with a machine that's Wi-Fi enabled, you're going to select the cloud. You're going to send it to your cloud, which is actually your free My Sonet account that you set up that you can access on your computer, or your phone or your iPad. But right now, I'm going to select to send it to my machine. I'm going to select my PFAFF creative icon too. Okay. And it tells me my design has been sent. And here it is on the screen of the machine, just like that. And it's ready to go. It's a stitch. If I choose to, I can highlight it and I can resize it. And my resize is going to recalculate my stitch count. So I'm just going to pop back over here for just a minute. All right. So let's say we talked a little bit about not wanting that stem. So I've got an eraser here, takes me to the picture, and I can come over here with my finger and I can just erase this. If I have a pen, I could pop in here and just erase. Oh, I don't think my pen is on. Well, okay. You could use a pen very easily, and then, or we could just erase it like this with our finger. and then give it a check mark. And there it is. Of course, if I had my pen or, my iPad was down on the table, I could get rid of that. So easy peasy. And again, all I got to do is send it or send it to my cloud. And that is it. That is all you need to do. All right. So again, that's how easy it is. You're just starting out with the line drawing, and everything I've showed you has been the exact same way and just as fast. So very, very simple. And again, here, I'm just going to move this out of the way for a moment. Here it is. If I go into resize, I'm going to go all the way into my resize option, and we can go ahead and make this larger or smaller. It's going to recalculate the stitch count for me. Okay, so now I'm up to almost 8 inches by almost 5 inches. So we made that quite a bit larger. Okay, so we have a lot of options for quickly creating these line drawings. Okay, and if we could take it back to the other screen, Amy, I'm just going to talk a little bit about the sample. So that's this. All right. And if you can get the line drawing, now I'll draw in my Notes app. If you are an iPad user, I use my Notes app. I draw in it all the time. I take a quick screenshot. It ends up boom in my photo roll. And I just pull it up in the photo roll, just like I showed you just a second ago, quick and easy. So any line drawing, you have options for cleaning it up, and we're going to talk about that too in my my line photo stitch course that I'm going to be teaching. So again, easy. And then this, of course, is the resize. So now let's just move this out of the way. I've got some more stuff to show you. Let's get back over here. All right, so we've got this little, I guess this is our maple leaf. And then we erased with no stem. And then I just wanted to show you that this was a much larger version. So this would be something fun you could quilt with. But again, this is the resize version of the default that came in. And there are certain tips and tricks, and as you get playing with this, you'll find that the larger the design, the less background there is, makes a difference in the result of, unless there's like a small, versus a smaller design. So, but again, just getting there and making your image smaller, you're going to end up, you do have an option of also picking a 3-inch line drawing as well, but not to complicate it, because it's so simple. You're bringing it in, and then you have your resize capabilities. Now I will tell you, this comes in as a VP. Yes, you can do this with any brand machine. Now it's going to come in as a VP4 file. Now, if you're working on certain machines, you're working in a PES format, you're working in a VP3 format, a DST, an EXP. So to get the VP4 file, you're just going to run it. You're just going to convert it from a VP4 to the format that you need. And that's in all softwares. And even the free version of my Sonet software that comes with this, that you would be signing up for. The free version of software is going to let you export it in whatever file format you need. So everything I'm talking to you about is included in this free version of my Sonet, which is just amazing to have this fast capability. And trust me, I'm not a super software guru. So I want to do as much as I can on the screen of my machine. So that's what I aim for, and that's what I aim to teach people, is how to make this very simple and easy and fast, as least complicated as possible. But I'm happy to do a little demonstration on how to get it in that free software and save it as a format that you need. Very, very simple. Could you use this for quilting in the hoop? Absolutely. Absolutely, this is great for quilting in the hoop. Now, the beauty of this is, and I find this, a benefit or a bonus, is that the stitches are a little heavier. You can see that, right? They're not single stitches. And that was the other question I had. what type of stitch does this use? Is it a running stitch or a double stitch? In my mind, it's a double stitch. It's not as heavy as a triple stitch, but it's a little bit heavier than a single stitch. And some quilters want it to disappear, and I understand that. They just want the, the motif or the dimension or the texture of it. I happen to love that little bit of a heavier look. But the one sample I showed you, I did a tone on tone color, and I got the same effect as if I were using it as a quilting motif. So this absolutely can be a quilting motif as well, but it is a little heavier than a single stitch, but not as heavy as a triple stitch. So how do you do a screenshot? That's a great question. It is so simple. You just, if you're on an iPad or an iPhone, you just click two of the buttons simultaneously together. I mean, Google it for your specific device. But you basically are just doing a double click, and then it saves it, boop, right to your photo roll. And again, I will go into more detail on that in the little course that I'm going to show you at the end of this. Simple. Just making sure I'm not missing any questions. Okay. So the screenshot is easy. If I had a device, let's see here. Okay. I'm going to pull this out. I think we're done with it. So I'm going to pull this out, and I'm just going to show you. Bear with me one second. Let me get to the right screen. And okay. All right. So here's an image. Okay. And let's say this is on a website, or I downloaded it. All I have to do is, I'm going to just click these two buttons. Whoops. Okay, let's see here. It's a little awkward when you're on camera like this. Okay, just did a click. Came down here on the bottom. And then when I go into my camera roll, it's going to be in my camera roll. And that's how you screenshot it, and that's how you're going to bring it in. Okay, I got to find that here. And there it is. I just pulled it up from the camera roll. So it's in there now. And now all I have to do is just, and I'll show you this way, if that's okay, Amy. I'm just going to go into here, and I'm going to X out of here instead of taking the photo. Okay, I'm going to just click this. And now here it is. And of course, I've got this extra down below. Just go into the eraser, and I'll just clean that up with my finger. I mean, you get the idea, and then you just check mark it. Okay, I've still got a little bit down here, but of course, then you can slide it back and forth, and you can really create that. Not right now, that's a stitch. So all I have to do is send it to my machine, or I send it to my free account on my laptop or my computer, and it's done. It's ready. Now I can put a name in here. I can resize it. Boom, that's it. Easy. Okay, we good? All right, let's see here. Got some mixed media. Oh, and this is the littler designs. Which are these, right? I just took those and I popped them into my shape creator. So I entered 3 leaves. I added 3 leaves, and I just copied and pasted them, and I just put them in a circle and resized the circle. And of course, here's some mixed media. We're going to talk about that in a minute. And easy, fast, but these are the same files. Those are the same drawings that I just showed you here. Okay, and these make great raw edge applique too. So here we have a sample, and this is this is linty, and it's been around a long time. But you've got some very simple things. Right. And then here we just added a little panel with, there's no backing on here or binding, but there is batting. And then we just added this little section here all about change, because, fall is about the leaves changing. So this is just your raw edge applique. So again, this is a really, another technique for these line stitches, these line drawings. All right. We are getting there. We've got we're going to head into some mixed media. because the line drawings are fabulous for that technique. So one of the things that I love to do is I love to stitch on the black Kona cotton. And this is a runner with all different leaves. Now this, I'll be honest, this was made before photo stitch was around. But now that photo stitch is here, I can do this in any leaf shape, any leaf size. And I've got some floating stitches here for my borders. And again, I've got more of that glitter on all of these leaves. Okay, this is that glitter that you bake in the oven. I'm going to talk about that in a minute, but it's a great embellishment for fall. But again, you know, we're just using a product here. I'll tell you the big secret. I know not every country carries this, but this is a cleaner with bleach. You often can find different cleaners that contain bleach, and that's all you need. So once you stitch out your project, this was a black Kona cotton, by the way. Once you stitch out your project, and I did 2 samples here, I'm using a polyester thread. So when you use polyester thread, this product is not going to change its color. So I've got a dark green thread here, and this I left on quite a while, so it really lightened up in color. This is what I painted. So this is what the soft scrub looks like. Now, I like a paste because it stays and doesn't bleed. Sometimes I'll use a blend of water and bleach, and that tends to bleed a little bit more outside of the lines, where here I can paint this on with a paintbrush, and then I let it sit. You'll see it, you know, right away, affecting the fabric, and then I would just rinse this. But I wanted to just show you that this is what it looks like when I add it, and this is what it looks like when you leave it on a while. And this is the black fabric. And now here I can go ahead and add some other colors to this if I want to, but I bleached out the black. And of course, this, I didn't leave it on as long, and I didn't put it on as heavy. So you'll want to play around a little bit with that. But not all fabrics bleach like you think they're going to. So this is a linen fabric, a brown linen, which I absolutely love. And this I did some stitching on. It's a very light stitch, but it bleached to almost a pink color. So not what I was going for, which is why this is still, in its fabric state. It has not been made into a project. Now I certainly can go and add some colors to this as well, but do a little test, because that bleach, will sometimes bleach way different than what you think. And I do use natural fibers because, like I said, when I'm stitching, I'm using polyester thread, and I don't have to worry about it changing color. Can you bring pictures into photo stitch or just line drawings? You want clean line drawings in photo stitch for this technique. Now, the other options are, you've got a scatter stitch and a satin stitch that you also could do. And they take different photos, different types of photos. But for this technique, you want nice, clean line drawings. You don't want anything chunky or heavy in the picture. It's just clip art. Think clip art. But yeah, there are other techniques in photo stitch that you can do with different types of images. And Shape Creator is a way of adding stitches, adding designs, and then picking a shape. I want it in a straight line, which is how I bring my buttonholes in. I want it in a circle, which is how I created the wreath. I want a square, which is how I create some borders that I'm going to show you in a few minutes. So Shape Creator is built onto several of the different PFAFF models. Can you use yarn for the outline stitch? Well, that's interesting. It is, if you have a yarn couching foot in embroidery and this is more of a straight stitch. So if your yarn, I'll have to play with that. If your yarn is really, there's not a lot of play in the whole of the foot, I think that might be something that's doable with a simple design, like something like this. That's kind of, you're kind of asking a lot to add yarn to this, I think, but absolutely not out of the question. Why we could play with that. We'll try that. Okay. So again, This is my bleach product, and this is my glitter. All right, we're going to talk about the glitter in a minute. When I'm adding colors, I like to use colored pencils. And you can use school grade colored pencils. You can use a line called, when I say school grade, I mean literally going to the back to school section and getting basic colored pencils. They also make a colored pencil called Ink Tense, which is more of a very intense color. They're a little bit more costly, but if you're going to do this, they're a lot of fun to play with. But truly, all you need is a very inexpensive set of colored pencils. So here, I took that larger leaf, and I'm going to show you this up close. This side, now they were colored the exact same. This side is, I've added textile medium, right? So I colored it. This whole leaf was colored just like this side. And then I took a little cotton swab, and I took some textile medium. You can order this, but really you'll go to the craft store and you'll find this in the acrylic paint section of the store. This is my go-to. I know people may use some other things, but I love the combination of this. So once everything is colored, I just go in with my product and I blend it. So when it's a textile medium, and you set it, I'll heat set it with an iron, but the textile medium takes a medium and makes it textile friendly. So, but it also is, an amazing blender. So you can see that this was the original coloring, and I had a lot of help from my 3-year-old grandson this morning. But it didn't turn out half bad. So again, this is blended with the textile medium in a cotton swab. And then this was the original coloring that we did. Okay, so easy, which I was talking about, that one sample that bleached out quite a lot. I'll go through and add colors to it. So we took this is just stitched on a card, like that you'd make a card out of, a card stock. And I'd stitch this on a mesh stabilizer. And again, I've added colors to this as well. Okay. And I'll show you another sample of that in just a minute. Just making sure I'm not forgetting anything. Okay, let's see. The other thing that you can do is crayon. Now, crayon doesn't really need, it's a wax, so it doesn't really need a textile medium. But a crayon, you can do a very soft coloring. And when you're done coloring, I like to lay a paper towel over top of this, and then I iron it. And any excess wax comes off the fabric and onto the paper towel. And so now this is permanent because it's the wax color that's on here. So you certainly could use a crayon for your leaves as well. But I did want to mention that. Okay. And how are we doing on time? We're pretty good. Okay. So the other thing that I did, and I don't have these stitched on leaves, but I just wanted to, we're talking about using our line drawings for raw edge applique. And these, of course, are satin stitch applique. But I wanted to mention that perhaps your dealer carries the Angelina Fibers. If they don't, you could request that. This is Angelina Fiber. This is the original state of it. You're going to need the fusible type of this. It needs to be fusible so that we can make sheets out of it. So you can press this. Again, I put just a little bit, goes a long way. I lay it down on an ironing board. I put a paper towel over top of it. I press it, and it turns into a sheet. And this sheet of fibers, this metallic fibers, is a great fabric for applique, especially leaves, because of the colors that you can use. And again, you could pick some of this whitish iridescent, and you could make this. I've actually just downloaded a collection of line drawing snowflakes. So they're going to be very pretty. They're actually. So picture a snowflake applique. So there's going to be a lot of space inside for a mixed media or something like this. But if you use the fusible kind and make a sheet out of it, now it becomes an applique fabric. I'm just watching my questions over there. Make sure I'm not missing anything. So back to the designs that you're going to download with a code. They're going to be the 4 leaf designs. Okay, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 over here. And the other project that I want to talk to you about that we're going to be doing photo stitch in is this organizer. Okay, this is on an acrylic stand. I've got some techniques in the back here, the little pockets for, I put my adapter in here, I put my USB in here. And here again is, we're going to be doing photo stitch in this class. This is going to be a little workshop, and all the stitch stacking, we're going to be doing that. We're going to be putting trim on in the hoop. This is a piece of lace. We're going to show you how to do that. Again, you don't have to have, this is for every machine. And again, we're going to be doing this file through photo stitch, and I'm also going to be providing the files as well. But this is an opportunity for you to do step-by-step techniques in photo stitch with me. Easy, easy, easy. And again, here's my Tula pink leaf, right? And then we made this little pin cushion and a border around it. But this is going to be a workshop. It's going to go live tomorrow. The registration is going to go live tomorrow. Anybody can sign up for this. It's going to be in multi-format. It's going to be for all machines, but this is going to be a great little technique class. And of course, your pocket is here. You can section it off with straight stitches if you want to for different things. This sits by my machine. We've got our little tab here for our clips. We're going to talk about doing our monogramming, but we're really going to highlight the photo stitch step by step. So this workshop is going to go, registration for this is going to go live tomorrow on the Embroidery Mom website. You can sign up for it. You're going to be getting a 50% discount. So it's going to be a really, we're going to pack a lot in here. If you're working on an icon 1 or 2, I'm going to be doing the step-by-step videos for you. If you're not on that machine, I'm going to be giving you the design files so that you can stitch this project right along with us and go through the technique. And if you sign up for that free My Sonet, we're going to be doing this together. Okay, we're going to be doing these. We're going to be doing multiple designs together. You're going to be working with that at home and following along with me step by step. So this registration for this will go live tomorrow. It'll be discounted for, I think, about a week or so. You'll get that big 50% discount on that. And before we wrap it up, let's just talk about this and talking to your dealer to get this. This is the little bit goes a long way. This is the microscopic. It's ultra fine art glitter. And this is what I do a lot of my embellishing with for that glitz that you saw earlier. This comes in black, which is perfect for Halloween. You have this glue. This is a fabric adhesive. If you live in a cold environment or it's going to get cold quickly coming up here, you're going to want to order this while the temperature is nice, because I don't think they ship it in the cold months because it is susceptible to temperature change. But you're going to just use this ultra fine tip and you're going to draw it on, or you can use a paintbrush, put this on a plate, use a paintbrush if you want a larger area. Sprinkle your glitter on, and then you will heat your oven. And I want to say it's 250. It says somewhere here on the bottle. And I should know this, 300. You're going to preheat your oven to 300. You're going to shut it off. And then you're going to stick your fabric in the oven, close the door, and just let it heat set in the oven. So you'll be baking your fabric for this. But this is, this stuff is awesome. So, maybe your dealer could do like an embroidery club using this, because this is awesome. It comes in gold and silver and bronze, copper, the white, the iridescent, the black is awesome for Halloween and fall. And again, these are, the rust color, which is this copper color, is great on the leaves. But it's ultra, ultra fine. When you order it, or if you order it, or your dealer gets it in, you're going to want to be sure it's the fabric adhesive, because there's another adhesive that you can get for this as well. But you do want the fabric. So let's share the code to get the designs for free. Okay, there's 4 designs. They're multi-format. You're going to be able to do whatever you would like with the designs. Perhaps bring them in your own machine, software, resize them. But the design code is, I didn't write it down. Amy, is it Fall Mom? FALLMOM. Fall Mom, all caps. When you go in there to the Embroidery Mom website, Amy's going to post a link for you. You'll go right there. You can download that. When you are in your cart, you will see a place to enter a promotional code. Enter the promotion code Fall Mom, FALLMOM, all in caps. The code is going to be good through the weekend, and that will take the price of the collection off, and you'll get it for free. Okay, it is in the description box of the video. So the link will be there and the code will be there, and you can go download these four through the weekend. The code will be activated through, I think it's scheduled for Monday morning to go back to an actual price point, but you'll get these for free using that Fall Mom code, and be able to download and play with them, and do all your mixed media things. So again, just having those line drawings, you have so much between raw edge applique, our dimensional felt, our dimensional table runner. We've got our raw edge applique. We can do things on cards, which we showed you the card stock. I will always usually back that with a mesh stabilizer. There's just so many different capabilities and possibilities for using line drawings. And again, if you don't have, I'm just reading here, if you don't have the My Sonet app, go in and download the free version of that, and that's going to give you the capability of the photo stitch. It's going to give you the capability of just bringing that design up and putting it in the format that you need for your machine. And that's all in the free version. So it's just, it's awesome. And I will be offering some things to support that, to help you in the future with, doing things. You can follow along with me step by step. So, but, in the past, I've often found that if people don't have the app or they're not working in it, they're a little intimidated by it. And I just want to tell you that this is so simple and so fast and easy. And it's great because they've opened it up for all machine owners with, giving you this capability in the free app is really quite something. So I just want to show this again. You can add colors to this. This is where you'd add your colored pencil to it. You add your glitter. And again, if you notice, the polyester thread did not change with all that bleach sitting on it. Okay, so I'm just trying to hone in on some of the little tips here. But by all means, if I did not answer a question or I missed it, if you leave your question in the comments, I will be more than happy to answer that and address it. We'd love to have you join our Facebook group over in Embroidery Mom, where the MOM is for mastering our machine. So I try to do different techniques. And when you try something like this that is out of your comfort zone or brand new to you, if you give that a try, you are actually exploring other things you can do on your machine. Perhaps you're resizing and just getting it in that software and getting it to your file format, which I will help with. Okay, we'll do that over in Embroidery Mom, and I can help with that. So, and of course, if you want to sign up for this course, you're going to be doing it all step by step with me anyways. And again, this will go live tomorrow. This will be on the Embroidery Mom website. You can register for it for half price. And then this will not start until October, the beginning of October. But once everything's posted, then you'll have access to it as long as you need it. You don't have to tune in at a certain time. Everything will be posted for you, so you can watch it at your own convenience and follow along step by step with us. And we're going to dive right into photo stitch. It's just, can you tell how much I love it? I love it as much or more than my Applique Creator, which says a lot because I love my Applique Creator, all the things I can do with it, just the design templates. The actual website name is embroiderymom.com. So just one word, embroiderymom.com. All my classrooms and workshops are listed there. There's a lot of free designs there for you. and everything is, broken up into categories as well. So, and if you have any questions, you can post it here. You can send me a post or a message in the Embroidery Mom Facebook. You also could email me at embroiderywithnadine@yahoo.com. But the website is embroiderymom.com. So you'll see a lot of fun things going on over there, and we do a lot of workshops specifically also for the PFAFF Creative Icon 1 and PFAFF Creative Icon 2. Do a lot of step-by-step stuff in. You'll see that on the website as well. But what I love about Photo Stitch is that we all can participate. Everybody can do this together, and it really is a way for you to, in a second, create your own line drawing designs. And I love raw edges. I know some people, have a raw edge phobia, I guess. They just don't like them. I love the texture. I love everything about raw edge. So this just, again, expands that, that photo stitch, that line art designing. It just expands the possibilities that I can do in my, right on my machine. So I love that right on the screen of the machine. You saw how fast it goes too. So, do we have any other questions? Look I'm coming in right almost at an hour, almost. But I really appreciate you guys tuning in and watching. Yeah, Ish. I appreciate you tuning in and watching, and I hope you're as excited about trying this stuff as I am. And I did have a question earlier about how I got the motif from the fabric onto into the app. Well, there's two different things, and this was a complete, those happy little accidents when I was sitting on my porch and I had my iPad on my lap and I was designing things for Love of Quilting. And I happened to have this Tula Pink fabric sitting on my iPad. So it was like this aha moment where I had this little light box and I thought, oh my goodness. So I started with my pen and I traced it right on top of the fabric, and it showed up through the fabric right into my notes app, where I draw a lot of things. And then boom, it was an image. I also took a piece of paper. I thought, well, all right, let's do it another way. For people who don't have an iPad, we can take the fabric to a window and we can put a piece of paper on the fabric and we can trace it with a Sharpie, fine line Sharpie marker. The finer the line, the better. That's another tip. We can trace it with a Sharpie marker, and we can I just take a picture of it, right? Just hold your phone or whatever device you're using right over top of the picture, take the picture. Now it's in my photo roll. My drawing is in my photo roll. So if you didn't want to draw it on an iPad, you draw it on the paper and then you take a picture of it. And then there it is, pull it up just like we showed earlier in the demonstration, and boom, it's a design just like that. So that's how and I really was trying to figure out what design could I feature and highlight that would coordinate with this fabric, this specific fabric. And the obvious answer was to pull something right off the fabric. So that was, those are those happy little accidents that we love when we're just not planning for them, right? Okay, so I think that's a wrap. Again, I loved having you here. I loved being here and sharing all this with you. I could talk another hour. Those of you who know me know this. I could keep going, but there's a reason they try to limit it, right? So I don't want to give you much more. There's a lot more here, but again, we will save that for another day, right, Amy? All right, you guys, it's been great. I appreciate you being here, and I hope to see you on Embroidery Mom, and I hope to see you in the new course for our organizer, and that, again, will go live tomorrow. You can register for a pretty hefty deal on that tomorrow when that opens up tomorrow. I'm not sure what time. That's probably around noon. It's earmarked to go live. So, all right, everybody, have a great fall. And if I can answer any questions, I'm more than happy to help out. So listen, have a great rest of your day. Amy, thanks for all your help over here. And we'll see you soon. Have a great day.